Happy Saturday, everybody.
Let's see. I hope I did that. Let me do something here really quick.
Hi, Sarah. Hi, Scott.
All right. Oh, good. I like it
Melody
when things
Ryba.
come
Hello,
together.
hello.
Oh, Melody is here, is she?
Birthday girl.
Well, welcome, everybody. It is so great to see each and every one of you here on it this Saturday, April 26th, the last Saturday of April. We're very glad to have you on board with us here on the AMA's Ask Me Anything with the amazing Robert Hollis. Uh, oh, I like what Jody is saying in the YouTube. I'm tubing with you today.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so very much, Jody, for tubing with us. And of course, we appreciate that you are tubing with us. If you are on the YouTubes, if you want to join us on Zoom, there's a link at the top of the chat. Click on that, and then you will be able to join us here on Zoom, because this is where a lot of the action is. Not that you can't do that on YouTube, because the whole idea behind Ask Me Anything is that you get to ask a certified millionaire anything you want. Very simple. But there are ways to do that so that we keep things in order, so that everybody gets an opportunity here. If you're watching us on Zoom or YouTube, you can always type your question in the chat and we will go ahead and ask it on your behalf. But the main reason why we do Ask Me Anything is that you get to interact with Robert Hollis, who is our certified millionaire, multimillionaire, I should say. So the very easy way to do that is to take your cursor in the middle of the screen where you see all these lovely faces. And then on the bottom, there's going to be a button that says raise hand. Click on that button, and then we will call on you in the order in which we receive your request. And that is the same as it applies to the questions. And there was Robert, the focus. That was a great picture there
No, I
again,
was just
Robert.
I was just reading with Deborah.
Oh, okay. And the all-seeing eye of Robert Hollis. There we go. So, and hello, Karen Owens from the Talladega Super Speedway. Ooh,
Nice.
that is nice. So, now that we've told you about how to participate in Ask Me Anything, a couple of small things before we get things rolling here. First of all, thank you to each and every one of you for helping to support and promote our channel, because now we are over 2 million views. And it's all because of each and every one of you sharing. Help us more. Share more. Thank you very much. And that includes the shorts too, because you can share the shorts with everybody. So shorts, long form, doesn't matter. Please share. Thank you very, very much. The other thing that I wanted to say, two more things. Number one, we always like to share a nice little phrase or a meme, something that Robert shares during the week or on the day of these Ask Me Anythings. And Robert, I loved what you shared today, because it's really a great foundation for everything to move on to the next level, which we are all about, is moving on to the next level. And Robert shared this: the magic you are looking for is in the work you are avoiding.
Ah,
Something to think about. Okay, now I lied, because there was going to be one more thing after I said that, but there's now two more things, because Santa Corky, it's your fault, but thank you so very much. We appreciate you. We love you. Santa Corky has shared a donation, and all donations that are on the Super Chat in YouTube will go to the organizations that Robert supports, mostly orphanages, but he also supports other ones. So if you'd like to donate, go to the chat in the YouTube and click on the dollar sign below the chat, and then submit your donation. Again, all donations go to the organizations that Robert supports. Thank you very much, and thank you, Santa Corky, for the donation. And
thank you,
finally,
Corky.
before we do get started, we've got a special person in the house today. And she has been with us for quite some time. And today is her birthday.
Yay! Number 55.
She's number 55 on the Roberts Millionaire hit list. And we really love and appreciate you, Melody Ryba. You are an amazing person. We look forward to hearing from you when you can. but we are going to let you hear from us because if you got a birthday today, I don't know if there's anybody else who has a birthday today, but we like to sing happy birthday in the only way we know how to do it here on a Zoom YouTube. As horrible as it sounds, it's not so much that, it's the sentiment that counts.
Amen.
So, on the count of three, what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to unmute everybody. Let's see. There we go. Let's all sing happy birthday to Melody Ryba. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday to you.
Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
dear
Melody.
Happy
Happy birthday to you.
Love you, Melody.
All right, hang on just a second. Let's see. We're gonna do. No, we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna do that. And now, okay, now that we've done that, Melody, happy birthday. Love and appreciate you, and may you have many, many more. All right, let's get her started on this Saturday, April 26th. All right, time to give it up for the A-Amazing here on the Ask Me Anything, the A-Amazing Mr. Robert Hollis.
Thank you very much, everyone, and hello. I did see that Karen and Lisa Marie and Scott and Peter jumped on here, and again, happy birthday, Melody. I think Jay and Lucas, I don't know if I got to say your name as well, but thank you for coming on here. Of course, when I'm not on here, I miss you guys. And I just want to give you a couple of thoughts like we always do on the AMAs before we go into answering a bunch of questions. And here's the first thought that I want for every one of you to have is, you know, everyone talks about growth, right? That everything's expanding. You know, it's easy when you talk about, you know, technology, for instance. I heard a great thing about someone talking about AI today. Matt will probably give us a few words about the stuff we're going to cover in Imaginators. But here's the thing. You know, there's a guy that I know, you know, a number of very successful people always talk about. It's easy. It's so easy to make as much money as you want. First, the reason why J. Paul Getty said no one else is trying. It's going to be a topic of what I'm talking about here today. And the second one is, well, when people say, well, what do you got to do? All you got to do is basically share with people something of value. And if you share something of value with people, they'll either give you their money or put it on credit. It's the way it's always been. So whether it's a song or a movie or a book or, you know, whatever you're doing, people love and bring value to people. And so what this guy said is going to be interesting to see what happens as AI continues to grow, because the number one thing that people sell is knowledge and expertise. So there's a reason that people pay money for a lawyer, a tax accountant, right? A CPA, a certified public accountant. These people have knowledge. So because they have knowledge, went to school, got the degrees, they get to charge people a lot of money for their knowledge. AI now is surpassed all the tests that these people needed to take. So it's already passed the bar. It's already passed the ACTs. It's already passed the certified public accountant thing. So what happens to people when knowledge is now worth zero? Let every one of you grasp that for a second, because my entire life, there's this thing called personal development. All right. There's this also things called, hey, I'll teach you how to market. I'll teach you how to create ads. It's all this stuff that people in my world, if you know this stuff and other people don't, it's valuable. What if AI knows the information? Then it's not valuable. So what about therapy? How about doctors? See, they're already figuring out that, there's things Matt talked about in the Imaginators, that this person suffered their whole entire life from lockjaw and went through a number of different doctors, including scheduling a surgery. And he decided to ask AI based on, and I always tell people, I ask AI this one question before I ask them anything. As I say, without using the information that's available in books or online, what do you think? And it comes up with some very different answers. And the answers are pretty incredible. Because if you're just asking it a question, then why not search? Someone must have came up with this answer already. But when you're telling it to reason and you're telling it to think without using other information that's valuable. So this person said, I've talked to a bunch of doctors. No one can help me with my lockjaw. What should I do? And the AI basically told them an exercise or a technique that they could do, and it immediately got rid of the lockjaw. So they didn't have to go to surgery. Wow. So here's the point that I want to bring up. I think when you talk about population, or maybe for some people, they could even be talking about pollution or maybe corruption. We can talk about things that I think that every one of us would agree is growing. Is there anyone that would go, yeah, I think it's growing? It's sort of hard to be a debater against, the population of the world not growing. Does that make sense to you guys? But why don't people believe that wisdom is growing? That consciousness is growing. See, I got exposed to this 38 years ago. And when someone started telling me, because I was in technology, automobiles, it was all about getting the car to stick to the ground and speed. So it's interesting in the racing world that every year everything changes because someone's always trying to scrub a couple of seconds. I don't know if you guys have heard of John Force. This guy's like a 13, 15 time world champion in funny cars. Well, his daughters also race. And his daughter, Brittany Force, has broken the world record for speed 5 times this year. And so when you keep beating, I think, can you imagine going a quarter mile, which is 3 city blocks at 341 miles an hour? That's like, what? People saying, well, my car goes from 0 to 60 and whatever amount. Yeah, this car would go to 0 to 60 in 0.01 seconds. It's already going 60 miles an hour in 10 feet. Is that crazy? And so, but I grew up in a time when scientists, I always love scientists, right? Because I'm a numbers person. Scientists said that they believe there's no way that a car could go 3 city blocks in 200 miles an hour. Until Kenny Bernstein did it. And then it's like the 4-minute mile. Now they're saying that we're pretty close to breaking the 4-minute mile for women. And so once it clicks, then everyone believes it, and then people just keep making it better, right? So with everything else, it looks like it's growing. But when people talk about their consciousness and the way that they do stuff, that got to stay the same. I'm going to tell you something controversial, and I just want you guys to just listen to it, right? Whether you believe in religion or organized religion or not, there's one thing that people believe, that people in the past were inspired to write things down. Matthew, Luke, John. There was these people in the past, regardless of the organized religion, that we know these people were being inspired by God to write things down, or Allah, or Buddha, right? Does anyone ever think that maybe people are inspired to say things and write things down now that could be inspired by God? See, that gets sketchy for people. But we know that religion started from that. Whether it's Scientology, whether it's Mormon, whether it's Jehovah's Witnesses. Every religion now in the United States, I haven't checked in a long time, but there was over 460,000 religions that are registered in the United States because they get tax write-offs. I haven't checked that stat in a long time. How many people would like to be tax exempt? Okay, great. We just have to call it Booth Ministries, okay? Donate your money now. Tom's like, he's like Allstate, you're in good hands. You know what I mean? It's like,
By the way, Robert, it's now saying as of 2020, there are 372 religious bodies in the United States that are registered according to the religion census.
wow, 370?
372.
Okay, cool. So, wow, some people, their religion didn't work. I'm joking. But 90,000 people couldn't figure it out. But when I say this, I hope you're not offended. I'm just wanting to open up your mind. Do you know how other religions are started? Just one statement. I heard from God. Everybody goes, he doesn't talk to me. What did he say? It's the people that are willing to say, hey, you know what? God came to me and said this thing, and people went, what? Really? And now you can call it whatever you want. So I know that might offend some people, but I don't know how many of you are Catholics. I just wanted to say out front, my heart goes out to you. When you watch this whole thing unfold like it did 12 years ago, and for people that are not Catholics, there's got to be a group of people that are sitting around and going, what? So a bunch of these guys in red outfits are going to get together and they're going to pray in the new pope. And it's like, wow. It's interesting, isn't it? Black smoke versus white smoke. And, it's like, this is pretty interesting, right? And I just love some of the feedback that I'm hearing about Pope Francis, Francisca, as he calls himself, because the guy seemed like he was a pretty cool and maybe too progressive for some people, but it sure seemed like he had his humility in check. You know what I mean? So when you hear about all the stuff that he did, he traveled to more countries than any other pope. Some of the stuff, again, I don't know if this is true, but they were saying the necklace that he wore up till the time that he died was a necklace that was given to him when he became a priest. So he never needed the red bottom shoes, the Louis Vuitton shoes. He didn't need any of that stuff. He just was the people's pope. And I think that's pretty interesting, even though I'm not, a Catholic. But that's pretty interesting. But I wanted to leave you guys with this part. I've said this many times, but I still challenge myself to this day about why things are. You guys know, how is that working for you? How do you know that, right? And what if I just recently, Craig is going to post it here, I put it in the Imaginators. I watched a podcast with Mel Robbins and Jay Shetty that was without a doubt one of the best podcasts I've ever watched. And so some of you will watch it and find the time to watch it. And I just highly suggest that you do. It really, really got me to think about this concept. And here it is really quickly. The powers that be, including the education system, is really teaches individuals is, Arthur, what are you going to be when you grow up? So they look at our bad grades versus our good grades. Then maybe a counselor or some teachers start saying, hey, Arthur, I think you would be good at this. And then that could turn into going to college, getting a degree in it. But how many of you realize that the powers to be, whatever you want to call them, are really good at getting us to focus on one thing? And they not only get us to focus on one thing, but we're also told, hey, listen, it's going to be difficult to make a lot of money. It's going to be very difficult to be able to move on in life and make a lot of money unless you're very loyal to your employer. Stick in a pocket, stay there, 40 years, 40 hours, gold watch, 40, 40, 40 plan. And it's really sort of ingrained in the older generation. And so when you think about this, you got a job. I know a lot of you. I've learned to know who you are and what you do. And later on in life, now all of a sudden, you pick something you want to be good at, and you just, regardless of the trends changing, AI changing, everything changing, we as human beings have a very hard difficulty of saying, I'm stopping that path and I'm doing this path. How many would agree? It's like, because me personally, even though I've tried to start my own company numerous times, I've made millions of dollars in being a group builder, building a large group of people for a marketing company. And so I always fall back to what's made me millions. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? I got really good at being an automotive engineer, and then I got really good at the people business. And so you just keep going back into that. I never stayed long enough as a CEO to get comfortable enough with it. So Jay Shetty says in this podcast is we should be professional quitters. Whoa. How many of you have heard this statement your whole life? Sarah, just don't quit. There is no way that you can lose. Just don't quit, Sarah. Just don't quit. Now there seems to be a public awareness and a world awareness is like, listen, if it's not working for you and not making you happy, quit. So the older generation really looks at the younger generation and they go, man, this younger generation won't even start. Why should they start doing something that doesn't give them peace, joy, fulfillment? See, I think all of us grew up and it's like, well, of course, Bill, you get a job. Why? You got a wife and kids to take care of. Well, I don't like getting a job. Too bad. Get a job. Forget your happiness. Forget your joy. Just put your head down and get a freaking job. What's the next step after getting a job? Get a job. No one's talking about. So you're going from a generation of it's not what you do, right? That's my generation, maybe a little younger even. Hey, Robert, what do you do? I'm a mechanic. How many people are around a group of people? It's like, well, what do you do? Coach Bob, what do you do? I'm an engineer. I work for Briggs & Stratton. You see what I mean? How many of you like, hey, what do you do for a living? Because there's not too many people that go, you know what, to be honest with you, I just live. Now, stop that bullshit. What do you do to get a check? How do you make money? It's like, all right, I do this stupid thing I hate, but but of course you do, right? And then there became this culture in my years of being alive. And I'm trying to think if I'm saying his name wrong, you guys can help me. I think his name is Simon Sinek. Am I saying it correctly? You guys probably know.
Yes. Yes.
All right. He was the one that came out with the whole concept, and everybody spun on a dime. He said, stop telling people what you do. Okay, what do I do? Tell them why you're doing it. Because if you tell people why you're doing something, that's more impressive than what you do. Wow, this really worked good for people in network marketing and entrepreneurs. Kevin, why are you in network marketing? To be honest with you, I hate my job. They don't pay me enough. I'm tired of the commute. I'm not fulfilled. So I thought I'd find something where I could work with people. And by helping them get what they want out of life, I get what I want out of life. I love helping people. Whoa. See, in a millisecond, it no longer makes a difference. It's about the product, the service, the compensation plan, the people that own the company. That's gone in a heartbeat when people start telling people why they do something. This is why I do this. Now, guess what it is? Now, some people are not going to move. They're going to let AI pass them by. They're going to let everything pass them by, just like they fought cell phones and the internet for the people of my age. My age fought the remote control. Can you imagine using a TV today without remote control? I was like, what? I don't even know how TV works. I got to have the remote, right? But you guys got to understand that things change. So today, what people are doing, it's how I feel about what I do. Wow, it's no longer what's in it for you. See, I used to tell people all the time, it's easy to get someone involved in something because I just have to ask where their pain is. And then I can give them glory for their pain. I have a solution to their problem. It's what's in it for them. And now people go, listen, if I don't feel good at this, if I'm not getting joy from this, I'm not doing it. Whoa. So that's where we all of a sudden got these things where I don't like the way you make me feel. Well, what's the answer to that? F your feelings? I don't know if that. Do you guys think that's the right answer? I don't want to do this. I don't want to make some media. I don't want to reach out to people. Why? I just don't feel like it. Feel like it. So how many of you people relate to this right now? When you think about doing something in the morning when you get up, if you don't feel like doing it, how many of you just don't do it? Can we be honest? Now, do you guys need freedom? Yes. Do you need money? Yes. Do you need more friends and connections? Yes. You guys all need the things that we all would love to have: acceptance, love, value, freedom. But you don't do what you're supposed to because you don't feel like it. So, in closing, I just want to say to you guys, this new concept of doing something, and if it doesn't feel right, do something else. And if it doesn't feel right, do something else. And if it doesn't feel right, do something else. Because now the concept in the world is experiment, reflect on it, see how it feels, and then see how you can make it better. And if you guys have been watching me in the last 6 months or maybe a year, I've gone from there's really no use in me telling you what I do because you're just not going to do it. Have you guys noticed this in a really nice way? I've been going, hey, this is what I do. And you guys go, okay, that's great for you, Robert, but I ain't freaking doing that. So what's the reason of
Run that by one more time. You garbled a little.
Okay. What's the use of coaching somebody and teaching them something that they don't feel like doing? So if you noticed, I've just been going, hey, honestly, Kevin, whatever you feel, do you know what you would feel good at doing? Well, to be honest, if I was reaching out to someone I don't know, I would feel better doing this. What do you think? I think you should do what you feel like doing. Are some of you freaking out right now? Because you should. You should be experimenting, asking yourself, would I continue to do this? And if it feels good, then ask yourself this simple question. What could I do to make this better? Because the old programming's not working anymore. So there is one thing that I want to say, though. There is a difference between experimenting and trying. Okay? Because some people go, I try. That means you didn't do it. Why didn't you do it? Well, because I didn't feel like it. You got to start finding things that make you feel like doing them. Do you guys know one area that this is really changing right now? Is in the health industry. The health industry, because of AI, just came up with unbelievable thought. Are you guys ready? That they now just figured out that based on a person's DNA, that they need to be treated different than everybody else. Wow! What a concept! How many of you go, I pretty much have known that my whole life? You know what I mean? Me and Jerome go out to eat, and I go, listen, I'm going to get to shrimp. And he goes, I'm allergic to seafood. You should eat it anyway because it makes me feel good. Nah, I look at seafood, I don't feel good. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Do any of you know anybody that got drunk off a certain liquor, alcohol? And someone says, hey, Coach Bob, Arthur, you want to hit on this schnapps? No. Tequila? No. How many of you guys know what I'm talking about? The alcohol that almost killed you is someone just starts pouring it into a glass and you're like, They're going like, what's wrong with you? Nothing. It's like your body's going, dude, you almost killed yourself the last time this smell was around. You need to run, right? And so that doesn't make us feel good. Why can we trust that with health? Some of you know people that duff and you just say no. Your instincts, your heart, your soul. Hey, you would like a hit off this? No, thanks. Why are you a wimp? Sure am. Be honest with you, I'm a control freak. What do you mean? I've seen a lot of people use all kinds of substances, and I don't like the way they are when they use them. So I don't want to know what I am when I use them. I'll just do my best to feel like right here. So I know the whole concept of being what are they calling the younger generation right now? Quiet quitters. Maybe like every generation we don't want to met as people that are older than them. Is they're like, why would I want to do something that I frickin' hate, that I'll never get good at, that I never would want a promotion in? They're not paying me enough. I can't afford a place to stay. I can't, I'm not, I don't feel good working for nothing. And I'm not going to get a job just to get a frickin' job. And what's our response, older generation? Well, come on, you got to do it. That's what I did. Damn it. You need to struggle and suffer your entire life just like me. I think that maybe the younger generation's got something going on here. So my thing is professional quitter. Quit things that you don't feel like doing, but then ask yourself in your heart, what could I do to connect with people? And how would I connect with people? What is my way of doing it? Do you guys know this? And I know you do if you've been around me. That ask people to do you a huge personal favor. That is not what my mentor taught me. That was me figuring out through experimenting the best way I felt good in contacting people. So I've had my whole career, because one of my best friends that owns ACN, Bill would say as little as possible to as many people as you can, as fast as you can. So he used a direct approach. And it was really, really simple. Hey, Karen, you need to make extra money? What is this? You answer my question first. You want to make extra money? Yes, no. No, thank you. Yes, here's my card. Do you know almost 99% of all the people I give my card to won't call me back? Now, I'm not telling you to get business cards. This was before the internet, before cell phones, okay? But my mentor was a direct person. And one of my best friends, Mike Kupas, was a direct person. Me, I'm indirect. So when I heard all this stuff, I go, man, I keep saying this is the stuff I learned from my mentor, but my mentor told me stuff, and then I just experimented to figure out how I felt comfortable saying as little as possible to as many people as I can, as fast as I can. Did that help you guys? So if you're not doing what you know you should do, and one more second, how many of you are figuring out how you would feel comfortable trading? If you're going to trade and make money, you better figure out a way that you feel good doing it. Have you guys noticed that if you follow certain people and you don't get good results, then it's never you're responsible, it's that person's responsible. Well, great. Find a way to take personal responsibility by figuring out the way that you feel do it. So you take some of this person and 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 put it all together. Maybe you'll find a way. Because that's why I think Matt, not think, I know. That's why my son Matthew is like in his element right now. Because it's not that he is doing AI to do AI. It's not that he's doing AI and we're doing Imaginators because it's a way to make $7 per person. Woo! We're like, money is like, don't even know how to control all the money coming in. You know what I mean? It's like, no. The reason he's almost got 9 million views on his YouTube channel, 9 million views, is because you guys can tell that Matt feels good when he's using AI. He feels good as he's creating stuff with AI. It makes him feel good when he shares it with others. And now because he's got it feeling, whether negative or positive, he's got people interacting and sharing his videos because his videos make people feel something. Do you guys got it? So we're laughing because if you guys watched our podcast yesterday, it's like, people look at certain individuals and go, I don't want to be anything like them because I just don't like who they are. But then you can't figure out why they have such an influence and such a following and why they're making so much money. It's things that I've said since I started marketing. I don't understand what it's like to be a believer. That's the following of people that follow Justin Bieber. They're believers or monsters. You know what I mean? That follow, what's her name?
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga, right? The Swifties, let's be more current, right? See, you don't have to understand them and their genres, but everyone that follows them and pays for their tickets and buys their posters and buy their merch and follow them and share their posts, the people that are their influence are the people that them for being authentic and where they are authentic.
Can you repeat that one more time, please?
Right. They're people that as soon as you see them do what they do, you know that they're authentic in what they're doing. The one thing that I've heard from anyone that's ever gone to a Taylor Swift concert, that if you go, you will cry. How many of you that don't like Taylor Swift go, she'd never make me cry? You know why they say that? Because if you get in her world, in her atmosphere, at a concert where everyone is feeling, you'll get caught up. It'll catch you by surprise. So someone that said, hey, have you ever heard of Taylor Swift's song, Hallelujah? I went, I didn't even know that she did a song. They're like, yeah, you oughta check out some of her songs when she sings them in front of her people and see if you don't get caught up in it. I'm not a Queen fan. I'm not.
How dare you?
But when Matt sent me a clip of them singing a song in front of their followers, and you're like, what is happening here? I've never heard a million people sing together. It's like all of a sudden your hair starts poking in your body. You don't know. You don't have to know the words. And you're like, what is that? What is that feeling? I see Tom laughing like crazy because he's an opera singer. And he's probably been around some people that you're going like, they're singing in a different language. And they're singing opera, and you're like, why are my eyes filling full of water? What is that? it's like, hey, that's a cool dimension to be in. Are you guys following me? But the people that figure out how to get and stay in that dimension, that frequency, that vibration, people can sense it, they can feel it, and they want to be part of it. I think Jay Shetty's got a little bit of that. Whether you like him or not, the urban monk. But he gets invited on TV shows because he can say something very important in just a few words. You go, whoa, whoa, that was powerful. So watch that podcast. Matt, I brought your name up. You got anything to add on to that?
Uh, Not really. I just love and appreciate everybody that's been given support and everything like that. You know, like our goal with Imaginators is to help you figure out what it is for you. Let me get rid of the product placement here. Um, Got to pay for that. No, but it's we're here to help you guys and figure out what it is for you. I It's really interesting because I grew up, watching YouTube and consuming YouTube content. When I say I consuming it, I mean it's like my number one source of entertainment, and it has been as long as I can remember. You know what I
Wow.
mean? Like whether it's people that initially started out on YouTube, like watching things like PewDiePie and stuff growing up, or gaming channels and stuff, and watching these people go on to become influencers and grow just by entertaining people and being themselves. You know what I mean? And I think what we're starting to see as artificial intelligence starts to grow is not only is there more opportunity for you to figure out what that is for you and to excel at it. Um, like we've talked a little bit about finding a mentor through the years and finding someone that is doing what you want to do and trying your best to emulate them and be
Right.
close to them. I think it's like with artificial intelligence, and I'm talking specifically about ChatGPT, it's like that, except you have a collaborator that keeps you on track and can refine that to you yourself. So it's like, here's all the people I idolize, all the people I want to be like, all the people I would love to be like as a father or as an entrepreneur or as a creator, a creative person. And you start to refine these things and really put like a life plan of who you are and what you want to be and become together with artificial intelligence. I've talked about that already in Imaginators. That's already recorded. If you spent $7 or $10 right now by clicking the join button, you could go watch that right now. It's like 2 hours on top of me showing you exactly how I got my YouTube channel to where I am. But I'm here to say, like, there's a million people probably that could tell you, oh, I'll teach you how to like get a million views on YouTube. I'm sitting in a meeting with Craig and my dad yesterday before our podcast, and I'm going, I don't think it's possible to succeed at YouTube and make a full-time income with YouTube if you don't love it or enjoy doing it. It just is not,
Yeah.
let's be realistic. You know what I mean? Like, truth be told, we have to find that for you, right? I am now at the point where I have a whole second YouTube channel that I'm not sharing with anybody yet, that I've been growing, that's also succeeding and growing very fast, because guess what? I want to continue to create content, but there's a level of content that I'm allowed to create per day and post on YouTube without saturating my audience. So now I have to go create another audience in some other way, you know what I mean? In some other area that I want to. And I think what's so interesting about that is as we've watched YouTube like grow and become like the number one source for how people consume content, and also it's like a full-time job for so many people. Like so many people make a full-time income by creating their specific content on YouTube or on social media in general. And it's like normally the hiccups that would be there are becoming eliminated with artificial intelligence, right? How do I
Yeah,
write a
like
video?
like the two big ones. You mean my face and my voice does not have to be on the video?
Yeah, exactly. I think that that's
Crazy.
yeah,
Crazy.
obviously that's a large barrier for a lot of people making stuff, you know what I mean? And I think tomorrow I'm going to go into in detail the whole persona thing, because I actually went down the persona route and then decided to switch back, and I'll explain tomorrow why I think it's important to play around with that for yourself and figure out what exactly is you, you know what I mean? It's like, because I believe firmly, like regardless if you create an anonymous profile for yourself, like a screen name, and you just make content, faceless content, whatever you want to make. You know what I mean? Just be creative every single day. As long as you keep doing that, you'll be great. Like just keep at it. Like the interesting thing
Mhm.
about it too is it's like, um, you know, and I'll say this too, like a lot of people really think that you can just be successful at one specific thing just because you're consistent. And I'm going to go back on a little bit of what I just said, which is your consistency is not going to matter if you don't focus on what people want to watch, what entertains people, and what people consume, and give them more of that. You're looking for outliers in what you're creating creatively. There is that age-old rule of one for them and one for me. There's a reason that that exists in creativity sometimes, and you'll hear this even in the music world or anywhere. It's like, okay, if you listen to their whole album, there might be two songs on there that are very personal songs, maybe about their relationships or whatever it may be, their personal struggles. But then you'll also have one or two songs on that album that are straight up bangers that will like do a billion view. You know what I mean? The
It's
reason that
why
that
it's why
exists.
it's why rock and roll bands in my era did ballet.
Exactly.
It's
That's
like,
it's
wait a
like
minute, do I have to play on piano or solo on a guitar and sing a love song? Yes, you do.
yeah, you have to give people what they want at that time and you have to figure out what that is. Like that's half of creating things and being successful at it. Every person here could write a Kindle book, especially with AI right now and post it, right? How are you going to get people to read it? How are you going to get
Yeah.
people to consume it, love it and enjoy it and share it with other people? Well, obviously, there's genres that exist and other things that you should attach your story and your things to that can help propel it. But the truth is like, you got to be diligent, man. Like, you really, really
It,
have to.
that's the
So you
biggest
have to
reason,
actually want to be doing it,
Matt,
not
the
for
reason that
money, because it's not going
Matt,
to succeed for money. You know, that's just the truth of
yeah.
it. So I've had a bunch of people reach out to me with AI, right? Because they're seeing my growth on YouTube and I'm in these Discord groups. And so they've been telling me to post the stuff that I post in there privately all the time. So I just make art all the time and I'm just not used to posting it, right? On a public space. And so ever since I've started doing that, not only have I grown exponentially, I've eclipsed every single other person that had been doing it before me that told me to do it. And not just by like a little bit. And that's not to brag on myself. That's to say that they're like, how are you doing this? And it's like, I'm just truthfully listening to what people want. I'm not waking up in the morning and going, what do I really want to make? I do that, but I also go, what do people want to see?
Bingo.
What will keep people's attention? You know, I come at things from a very Steven Spielberg, Alfred Hitchcock way with my creativity as well, where I'm going, I want you to sit and be entertained and watch what's happening. You know what I mean? And I think that that's a reason why I'm doing so well. Is like I'm sticking to what's working for me. And then I'm also, and I'll share more of that tomorrow, but I'm also doubling down and working on being more creative in the spaces that people want to see. And it's really paying off. Okay, I posted two extra shorts yesterday that I threw together. And I knew that they would do well. You know, I've been playing around with a couple of things, and like I said, I'll share more. But it's crazy to see now that I can post two short videos, talking 8-second videos. So like the average attention span of someone watching YouTube shorts, you know what I mean? But and these people will watch it 2, 3, 4, or 5 times, you know what I mean? So yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and
I,
believe it or
yeah.
not, Matt, that was the reason that I wanted to talk about the title of this video. This title of this video is you need to really focus on how much you can experiment and posting things that make you feel. If we're now coming to the
Really,
whole
that's it.
concept, if we, because Matt's really talking about two things. One is the things that make him feel good, and then the other things that he knows that will make other people feel good. Do you guys catching that? It's like, but if you're never going to be consistent and you're never going to build an audience, and people want to know all the time how I'm able to recruit so many people into whatever I'm doing. Would you guys agree that most people watch my videos and just say, this guy believes in what he's fucking doing? Do you really think it's about my expertise or knowledge and all of that stuff? It's not. They love my passion and the how I feel about helping people. And they want to be a part of that. So the common denominator I've had my whole life is people go, you know what? I seen you speak. Hey, I watched you on a video. Okay. What are you doing? I want to work with you. Do you guys understand at that point the name of the company, who owns it, the story, the products, the service? Doesn't matter. So, Matt, go ahead and show because you got them up there.
Oh, I was just it's fun because when you work really hard and you're consistent, and I talked about this on one of the Imaginators calls, which are recorded, but it's like if you go back, you'll get to see me 6 million views ago. You'll get to see me 3,000 subscribers ago. You'll get to see me posting videos get 3 to 400 views or get no views. So that's the fun part about this, right? It's like I really wanted to have Imaginators not just be inspiring, but lead by example and like really go out there and be creative and try my best to show you guys that you can do it. Like you can really just push and do it. You know what I mean? It's more about consistency than anything. It really is. Because when I look at my stats now, I could not upload a single thing and I don't think I could get less than, and it's crazy because you go back 2 weeks and this number is going to be half or less, but it's like, I don't really think I could get less than 60, 70,000 views a day. Like, I'm not even kidding. Since we've been here, I've gotten 65,000, well, it's still going. Since we've been on here at 12, I've gotten 65,000 views. Um, and like within the last couple of minutes, there's like thousands, right? And so I can go here and show you too. And this is not to brag. You can do this. I'm nothing special. I'm just consistent. And I show you how to do this. Everything I'm doing is not rocket science. You know what I mean? So when you look at these stats, right? This is the last 28 days. This is not updated, but this is over 9 million for sure. Like it just takes some time to update now for whatever reason.
Right, right.
But yeah, when I said I don't get more than 60,000 views a day, do you guys think I was being conservative?
Click on live
Oh,
count.
well, live count of that's what you were just seeing right here. So in the last 60 minutes, I've gotten 69,000 views. In the last 48 hours, I've got 1.5 million. And so that when you go to Social Blade, which is anyone can look up any YouTube channel on here, not just YouTube. I think it's actually like any platform, TikTok, Twitch, Facebook, and you can see their stats and how much their channel's worth, how much they're making off AdSense and ad revenue based off the traffic and eyeballs they're getting to themselves. And so I've watched this because I'm an analytics dude. I like looking at stuff like this. So I track how I'm doing all the time, right? And I'm looking at the stats that I'm going. So waking up in the morning and seeing these stats be a little bit higher, but then also seeing like, all right, my channel's now at least $2,000 of monthly income that I've just like generated just by being creative every single day. In my spare time. I am not doing this full time, and not to say that you shouldn't. I'm very, very close, you guys, to doing this full time. Like if it doesn't look that way, obviously.
Right.
But that's the case. And this stat, if you keep going back and back, you might be looking at this and being like, holy shit, that's a large range. You know what I mean? This is how each different country basically, and this is actually a little different now with the tariffs, as funny as it sounds. But each country's viewers are worth more in AdSense, right? Each category is worth a different amount in AdSense. So that's when they gauge channels and they go, okay, this is the minimum in ad revenue. This is the maximum in ad revenue based off of, you know what I mean, what audiences they're hitting. Now for me, I am trying very hard, and I won't be able to do this forever because I do want to make content that is in English, you know what I mean? And I'll have to dub it and change it. But if I go to like my audience, right? And scroll down, you guys will see that it's like everybody. So it's like 8.8 million, 13,000 watch time. And it's like United States is 11%, Germany is 7%, Italy is 5, France is 4, Brazil, India, Russia, Spain,
Gee
Poland, Japan,
whiz.
United Kingdom. And this is what happens when you create content that speaks visually and elicits emotions visually. That's the type of content that reaches across language barriers. So if
Got
these
it.
are certain genres like horror, which is my one of my favorite genres, or suspense. If you go through my channel, there's a lot of suspense based around sharks because it's summer and I watched Jaws and I was like, and they've been doing really, really well for me. Like some of my shark videos that I've made even look like the fake Jaws, but better, right? Um, I'll go to it right now. Why not?
Well, I was going to say, I think you should shut it down and tell them to come to Imaginators.
Well, I mean, the Imaginators is about how you can do this, right? If
Yeah.
anything, I'm just sitting here and showing you guys, and like I said, I don't really go over a certain amount of time. So this short has 5.5 million views, 1.9 thousand subscribers. And if I clicked on it and showed you guys the comments, you'd like I said before, you'd probably like quit YouTube type of stuff. You know what I mean? A lot of hate. But,
Matt, that
you know,
1.9 thousand subscribers is from just that video,
just
correct?
that video. Yeah. That's what happens when you like keep swinging the bat. Eventually, you're gonna hit a home run, and then when that algorithm picks up your home run, I tested a bunch of different genres and different things as I was trying out this. Once you hit that home run, like I said, then you double down on it. You figure out what that audience liked, and then you go, okay, how can I give more of that to them? And then be creative around that. You're gonna see some of my shorts don't do insanely well, in my opinion, but that's because I'm being more creative with them. Some of them do very well. I don't care either way because my YouTube channel is being fed into the algorithm no matter what. Like I said even before, the like dislike ratio on this is like, why am I gonna listen to? And I said this even in chat to Craig and my dad, but it's like, oh no, 2,454 people hate my guts on this one video. I should just quit. You know what I mean? That's a lot of people that don't like me. And it could get more and more, you know what I mean? They don't show dislikes on videos, but some of these have a lot of likes and dislikes. But like you said, Dad, I could go on forever. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Well, you love
You
you
know,
love teaching people this. So I'm going like we give Matt an inch and he takes 14 miles. So
14 minutes.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so you guys got to find a way to tell people if this is not for you, and you guys know people right now that are trying to say I don't want to be left out while AI. Matt posted in an AI yesterday. I mean, Imaginators, that Donald Trump, whether you like this guy or not, just signed an executive order saying that alls now need to start teaching people AI. You know what I mean? So it's
Repeat
like,
that again, Robert. You kind of muffled again.
yeah, Matt posted in Imaginators that, whether you guys seen it or not, Donald Trump, whether you like him or not, just passed an executive order that everyone in school now, it needs to be taught AI. He does not want the next generation to be left behind. And so whether you like it or not, I can guarantee you for the people that didn't like computers or the internet, it is pretty interesting that the next generation learns it anyway. It's like you might have not liked cell phones and social media. That doesn't stop every kid in school from doing it. So
Yeah, I mean, and the big question of that is what happens to schools when everyone's being taught by the same teacher? Like like the teachers could show up and there'll be more guidance for kids learning from artificial intelligence, but I could really see like schools becoming more communal spaces and less education spaces.
right,
Because truth be told, if you could just go home and pick up your phone and learn anything you want, and there's a sense of not
community,
only can there, well, I mean, in those communal spots, yes, but with AI, it can keep you accountable. It can gauge whether you're cheating or not. There's so many things that it can do that a teacher cannot do. And it
right.
can also teach you at your level in any area or category, right? So when this starts rolling into schools, I'm really interested to see how teachers react to it because this is like,
Yeah, there was
okay,
a
we
there
can
was an
help
episode.
guide kids to learn AI or they're going to be in a very, very interesting position
Right.
with their job. You know what I
There
mean?
was an
Like with
episode
lean into it.
on 60 Minutes about this, about OA really getting into a couple of big schools.
One more
And
time, Robert, please.
Matt, why is this happening?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm joking. But they had it on 60 Minutes where they were showing how they teach kids how to do AI. And one of the things that was unique is that if someone plagiarism, say they went to Google and they looked up the answer and just took the answer and tried to answer the question with AI and in a question, do you know that the AI does not discipline them? It showed people trying to cheat using AI on AI. And AI came back and said, wow, that's very, very interesting. Could you tell me a little more about this thing? And it would pick one thing out of the paragraph. And then the person would respond to that, which is their own ideas and concept. And so even though people were cheating in the AI was interacting with the kids to get more out of them. And through them asking 3 or 4 questions, the AI created a paragraph that was all their own ideas. And that's what it submitted, which of course gave them an A. So instead of the AI just going, listen, you're lazy, you cheated, you plagiarized, and you took this from this book. No, the AI went, listen, good shot, but we got to make it a little more unique. What do you think about this? What do you think about this? What do you think about this? What do you about this? And then took everything and put it in a new paragraph based on the assignment that was given. And the kid went from being disciplined, calling lazy and a cheater, to getting an A. Why? Because it interacted with the person and treated them like a human being instead of just
Well,
reprimanding them and
I want to
making them
say,
feel like a
I want
piece
to
of
say
garbage.
too, like, here's a really interesting thought for you guys, right? Um, when the dot-com boom, I was a child when it happened, but when the dot-com boom happened, there were, to my understanding and knowledge, multiple different companies that existed before Apple and before Microsoft
Yep.
that were IBM and Xerox in particular, right?
Yep.
These two companies were like the corporate overlords of the technology space at that time.
Correct.
There's this movie out there, but you can watch a few, called The Pirates of Silicon Valley. Do you know why they were called the Pirates of Silicon Valley? Because they didn't give a shit and they stole stuff from Xerox and from IBM to create Microsoft and Apple, which then revolutionized the technology space and killed those companies. What do you think the odds of that happening in entertainment and in the other industries are with what's going on right now? Because I'd say it's about, like, I don't want to say 100, right? But I'd guess pretty high. You know, I'd bet pretty high.
Yeah.
So that's what I wanted to say based off of that. But I
Thanks.
agree with everything you're saying, Dad. Like, it really is going to change the way that we educate human beings,
Right.
like in such a healthier way, you guys, because truth be told, like I've had friends that have had the world's best educational experience, right? Teachers that cared, sat down with them, maybe they went to a great school. And then I'm sure some of us, myself included, have friends that just got dealt an awful hand academically. You know what I mean? And to have that barrier no longer exist, where it's like, okay, if the teacher shows up and doesn't care, it doesn't change your level of education or growth.
Right.
Or if they're rude or mean or they had a bad day, you know what I mean? Like, teachers do have bad days. We're not going to talk shit about teachers because I truthfully think AI with teachers is the best part of it all. Like, I think that human aspect to it, that emotional touch by a human with the education part being then leaned on by AI is like, it'll make teachers more caretakers and guiders, which is, I think, more what they want to be. Value definitely more. Definitely should pay them all of the money that the schools are making off the AI education stuff,
I
right?
agree.
To go to the teachers, right? So yeah, let's make the technology and give it all to the teachers is what I'm saying.
Yeah. So let's get into the Q&A. I hope you guys enjoyed this, on the podcast that we did. And I sometimes say that people can ask me anything. But one of the things we could also do is people just have comments. I seen when Matt talked about the Pirates of Silicon, I seen, Arthur put Microsoft stole the graphic interface from Apple. I don't know how many of you guys can do this, and you can AI it. Xerox invented the
No,
mouse.
yeah, it was Xerox. I was talking or I was asking it. So the graphical user interface was invented by Xerox.
So was the
Windows,
mouse.
icons, drag and drops. They also invented the mouse, Ethernet, laser printers, and even basic object-oriented programming.
Yep.
Xerox really didn't understand what they had outside of patents and all of
Right.
that shit. And they were very much just like IBM wanting to control and make sure that all of that technological revolution for personal computers came through them to you.
It also
And it
came from
was it
the
was these pirates of Silicon Valley that stole those ideas to a certain extent, borrowed would be a good word, right? The ideas and created what we have now. So the
yeah,
personal
before
computers.
before the stuff was given to Apple and Microsoft, it went to the board for approval, and the board of Xerox, this is documented. The board of Xerox said, one of the head guys, and everyone agreed, said, if you think that people, average people, will ever be able to afford a personal computer, you're out of your frickin' mind.
It's for the wealthy. Only the wealthy can make movies. Only the
Yeah.
wealthy can make music.
Yeah.
Only the
So
wealthy
they,
can.
the
No.
board of Xerox said, in their best estimates, that an average PC for the average consumer would be around 5 grand. And they were right. But they didn't know that when Apple and Apple and Dell and some of these companies came out with computers for 3,500, that 10% of the market bottom. It's like, I don't know how many of you know, but man, my first Intel computer, it was 3,800 bucks, man. It was like 500 megabytes memory. Now we send that video over Telegram. That's crazy. So let's get to the Q&A and let everyone get on their way. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on Imaginators. So thank you, Matthew. Craig, back to you.
All right. And wow, what a great way to start AMA. Just a reminder to become an Imaginator. Join us by going to roberthollis.com/join. Imaginators is an exclusive call. You have to be an Imaginator to join us, and that'll be tomorrow at noon Pacific, 3 Eastern. We got a lot of great things to share, and we would love to have you with us if you're not part of our Imaginator group. So please do join us. I don't see too many hands raised, but I do have a question that came in on YouTube. And it
Okay.
was Microglimpse TV. I'm sorry, Microglimpse. I don't recall what your real
Sarah.
name is,
Sarah.
but I'm sorry, who?
Sarah.
Sarah? Okay, Sarah. And this one actually goes to Matt. So, Matt, if you can, let me go ahead and
Yeah,
add
what's
you
up?
to the spotlight. Um, Sarah asks, what do you think of Grok?
I think Grok can be really good, but I more lean into the cutting edge, bleeding edge models. Um, Truth be told, I think the race between artificial intelligence models now are between just two. I think Google, Gemini, and OpenAI's ChatGPT are really like the ones that excel even at programming at this point, like deep learning, programming, everything. Now, on the other end of it, it would be really, really great if we had more of an open source model that's not like DeepSeek from China. Just, I would be nice to have an open source model in the United States. I could see that happening with Grok. That would be pretty sweet, just as like a Hail Mary, like the open source community. But I don't know if there's enough time left for Grok to catch up to Gemini and to catch up to ChatGPT. Um, just the compute that's been dedicated to Google and to OpenAI that's not been given to XAI. Like basically, the government is giving all of the opportunity to Oracle, Gemini, and OpenAI. So like that's just yeah where it is. So yeah, that would be I'd say if you have Grok, right, and you want to use it, there's so many things that you could do with it. It's not the one that I would use. You know what I mean?
Again, how do you feel about it?
Especially for like like as an example, I've been using ChatGPT because it was the first real large language model that we all could use, right? I have chats that go back like years since it's come out. And just a little bit ago, right, they released infinite memory where I can go through all my chats and get all this information about me. It instantaneously knew stuff from years ago that we had talked about. I don't know how you could do that with Grok. It could run
Right.
through all your tweets and stuff if you're like uh crazy and tweeting every single day 40 times. You know what I mean? I don't know how else it would get all that information from you, right? So,
Good answer, Matt.
All right.
yeah.
Thank you very much, Matt. Appreciate that. And thank you, Sarah, aka
Gemini and sorry to
Microglimpse
interrupt you,
TV.
Craig.
Go ahead.
Gemini and ChatGPT both have free models, free plans. So, and they're worth the $20. Like they're neck and neck. Like each couple weeks, they come out with a new model that's better at reasoning, and then the next one's like, I know I'm better at reasoning. They're already like having to make new benchmarks that they can compete with one another. So that
Cool.
yeah,
Okay. Thank you so very much, Matt. All
of
right,
course.
and we do have a hand up. Arthur Waino, go ahead, open up, and please share.
Hey guys, how are you doing?
Great. How are you?
Awesome.
I'm doing good. I don't have a question. I just have a comment about what you had mentioned, Robert, about trying new things, which, I am trying new things because of Imaginators. Just starting out on my YouTube journey, trying to figure out the whole music aspect of it. Uh, got two videos up there right now, but I'm looking like at the company that Matt told me to look into, and it almost seems like I need to like go through them first before I start posting the videos on YouTube to get the distribution. Because the videos that I'm going to be making will take longer to make than to get them out onto all the platforms. Um, and plus, to get it like on Vevo, like the video for music videos and stuff. It's they have certain requirements that I need to like go and adjust some of the videos for me to get it on there. So I think it's just going to take a little bit longer, but I don't know. It's right now I'm finding out that when I go to the gym, especially that I am listening to the songs that I made. I'm listening to those a lot more than
How does that make you feel?
it's a crazy idea, but it's like I made that. I'm like, this is a
That
But
good
that's
how
good.
song.
great is
Yeah.
it too when you're like running on the treadmill or doing something and then you're like, "Ooh, I could go home and change that, make this better, or I could make something based off of the thought that I just had." So like you keep those creative strings going, right? It's like
Yeah.
that's the fun part about it. You just keep that going. So,
So
and
like some
find
of the
what that is in
songs
yourself.
some of the songs that I've made so far, I'm like, wow, that could be like a hit. Like it's motivational and positive music, but it probably wouldn't be on like mainstream radio or anything like that. But I think people would like it. It sounds good. I like it. Um,
Is there, from my understanding of your question, Arthur, and maybe I know Matt can help you with this. The first thought that I always, I don't, I thank God. I thank God that my first thought is always asking instead of trying to figure out. I read about it in my book. I still, if people cornered me, they would go, what do you think's the key to your success? And I would say instantaneously, the ability of me to ask for help is where I've always is won over everybody. And so you talk about some of the restraints that you're getting on your music and some of the stuff that you got to do. That would be questions I think that you could ask right back to AI. Just say to AI, listen, in creating certain songs and stuff on this platform, and this platform, I'm finding out that there's restrictions and things that I got to do, or licensing stuff that I got to do to take my songs to the next level. Can you tell me a different path that I could take where these restrictions and licensings and shit did not apply? That would
Yeah,
be
they,
my first thing because, people always I get caught in restraints. Honestly, what made me, in my opinion, it's my opinion, but what made me one of the best automotive engineers in the world was my ability to talk to some of the best that have ever done it. And I would always ask them this one question, which I thought was insane. As I would say to them, I go, wow, that's similar to what Arthur said. And they go, Arthur, when you? Yeah. Oh, shit, he's a competition. Why would I talk to him? And you guys, when I was young and really, really big in my field, it was because I was talking to all the engineers and all the crew chiefs, and I was getting information from fucking all of them and getting what I was doing on the car that ended up being genius. But none of those competitors would talk to each other or ask each other for help. There was no collaboration at all. It was all competition. And so when I asked questions of somebody, I stopped using the name because they knew it was the competitor. So I would just say, hey, what did you think about this? In creating a song, there's regulations and stuff and licensing and stuff like. So I was.
Repeat that again, Robert, please. It got garbled. Sorry.
That's all right. Yeah, this microphone's going in the trash. It's like I forget what I was saying. Yeah, totally.
That sucks. Yeah, I don't know why it keeps doing that. Like it's got to
oh,
be
is your internet
um
The
connection?
only reason I screamed at Matt is this is the stuff that Matt told me to buy.
yeah, if you guys know anything about microphones, if you lifted it up, he has a Shure SMB.
That's a good
So
microphone.
That's a very good
it's
microphone.
legit every podcast mic
Yeah.
in the world is that mic. There's
It's your
other than
internet
the one that
connection.
It
well,
It's
might
got
it's
be
to
the
there.
wave. It might be the Wave
I think
XLR or something. It's
I
something.
think do you experience it outside of this, outside of Zoom? Like when you record videos or talk to other people? Because we were doing the podcast yesterday, it didn't happen once.
Right.
No. Yeah.
And that was on Zoom. So in my thought deduction,
Just
of course, I'll
weird.
talk to Nova.
Just weird. Just weird.
Yeah, I'll talk to Nova. This is where the
We'll
listen.
talk to
We'll,
AI.
we'll
Yeah.
talk
We'll
to
talk.
Nova. We'll figure it out. Yeah. Arthur,
But
I have
I now
a
remember where I was.
yeah, go ahead, Dad. Finish your
I
thought.
just got a little frustrated. It was like
Dude,
so then
everybody's that way.
yeah, so then I started asking people the questions of ideas that I got from other people, Arthur. And I wouldn't say where I got the idea. And so imagine going to someone that knew how to get. I have a guy that I could actually introduce you to, Sean out of Atlanta. He's a music producer, big one, makes lots and lots of money. He does trading too, but it's like, but you very simply would go to somebody and say, well, I was using this, and this, and I'm getting this restrictions and this and this and this and this. You should do that. You're using this and this because then that wouldn't be there. And so as soon as I stopped telling everyone I was asking help from where I was getting my ideas and made them sound like I had the idea, they would give me all the information I needed about anything because they were there to help. People, I've always found that if you're very kind to people and you make them, the reason I'm coming to you is because, and you give them a little bit of edification and say a little bit of nice stuff about them, that they love to help you. And they're already people that have already made the mistakes and found the path there. But now I started this started this AMA by saying that that's what used to make people valuable is they had that experience and had that knowledge and they've done the experimenting to find out the best path. now AI has that path. You just gotta the number one thing that I'm learning from Matt and getting better at, Arthur, is when I reach out, when I'm collaborating now with AI, instead of asking it questions, and I'm telling it the role I want it to be. So instead of saying, how do you handle this problem? Go, I want you to be a person that's producing and creating songs that you want the world to hear. And by using these softwares, there's regulations and licensing rules and stuff that apply that is hindering me from doing it. If you were the producers of these songs, what would be your path?
Right.
And it just goes, oh, you're putting me in the producer role? This is how I get a million people to listen to this song. Wham!
I mean, when I started though, it was just I just thought, oh, I'd be putting them on YouTube. I didn't even think, oh, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Pandora, iTunes. I didn't even think of Spotify or any of those.
I can definitely feel, oh my God, Arthur, what have you been up to? What have you been up to? Well, one of my songs just got downloaded 10 million times, got streamed 10 million times.
Yeah. And so like
That is freaking awesome.
when I started this, I was like, I was like thinking about like just like content for like YouTube and stuff. But I was like, oh, wouldn't this be great to like have like motivational stuff on my YouTube channel, and that will tie into people trading. I could talk about the trading stuff. And then what would also be awesome is to have motivational music to back up all of that stuff, like have like a
Right.
trio of everything, and it has a little bit of everything. If you come for the music, you stay for the music.
I think Matt pinned it for you already. It's you being productive, you being in the flow, listening to your own creation.
Yeah,
That's got to be
Arthur, can I ask you a quick question about
sure.
this? Um, when you're creating stuff, when you get to the YouTube part of it or the uploading part or the distribution part of it,
Mhm.
right? What part of, or even when you're making songs, what part of your mind do you feel like you're engaging with? The marketing part of your mind that goes, this is how it should be for people to like it, or the creative part of your brain that's going, this is what I feel like making?
Um, this is what I like, or what sounds good to me.
Perfect. That's where you want to be. That's where you want
Okay.
to be. When you said you listen to your own music, it's exactly, listen, artists do listen to their own music. Some of the best artists love their music. That's why they made it for us. You know what I mean? And so I think from your situation, every single thing, and this happens in the music industry too, but it'll be even better as AI grows because AI can help you do this. I would focus on creating as much as possible and getting it uploaded and less on distribution. Because even if somebody stole your stuff, you could flag it on YouTube. You know what I mean? As copyrighted because you uploaded it first and it is based off of just that one action, your copyright. So since that's the case, I would focus more on that. And then a second piece of advice for you is I would try to make something that was like 30 seconds or less.
Okay.
Like just try to challenge yourself creatively to get something that would inspire somebody that's 30 seconds or less musically. And that could be multiple things, like just let your creativity run wild with AI as well. Like lean on that to help with the ideas. But shorts are the pathway to
Well,
getting success on YouTube.
I
So,
haven't uploaded a song yet to that software because the add-ons that I posted in the group,
right.
they cover you in case somebody uses your song so that it's protected. And then they
So,
also had the other option for like the add-on option was the social media option where they'll help
mhm.
you create like little clips to like teaser clips to post. So I wanted to like look at that and see, well, what do those look like? Can I post those as like shorts? Do I post those as reels or stories?
do they actually then act like an agent or a manager that
Kind
also
of.
owns part of it? Man, I my one of my my first viral video, I made the mistake by authorizing the rights and getting paid by Junkin Media, and now they own it.
No,
Uh,
they won't own the rights. I'll own the rights. It says like there. It says on the
yeah,
site
but
that.
I couldn't make
I
money off my own video. I
You know,
couldn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
popularity
will. I
and
will.
engagement are third. So popularity and engagement are the two most important stats, I'd say, worldwide right now. And especially with where AI is moving. If you want any door that's in your way to open, if you have popularity and engagement, they will open for you. Somebody will open that door for you. So if you focus on being creative and giving people what they want to hear and watching the comments that you start getting, and it's going to be slow. It's not something that's immediate, but that's why I said lean on shorts a little bit as well, because that's easier for people to consume. And then they'll go to your channel and watch your longer songs. And then once you get them hooked, then they're listening to every single one. And that's how the momentum starts to build. Right. And so
Right.
it's more about you staying consistent creatively and uploading than it is about distribution or anything like that. Because even if you got to that point, like we can go on right now on YouTube and listen to an entire audiobook. Do you think that they went through the correct channels?
No.
Well, I mean
No, they
the
did.
person that created it, I guarantee
Oh,
you they did. Right? So if it's Simon and Schuster, they licensed it. They had somebody record it. They did all this stuff. So why can you go on YouTube right now and put in Think and Grow Rich and listen to the whole entire book when it's copyrighted? You have to buy it on Audible or something. Why can you do that?
I didn't think that they were allowed to post that, but maybe they
They
are. They
aren't.
have the rights.
They aren't allowed to post it. No, they don't have
No.
Okay.
the rights.
Okay.
That's because, truth be told, fighting piracy is a losing battle. You will
Right.
lose every single time. And so instead of thinking about piracy, think about being, I don't give it, say this, I don't give a shit about piracy. Take my shit if you want to, spread it everywhere because they can't replicate your creativity and that sword you keep sharpening. That's not
Right.
replicatable. And the more you refine that, they're just going to get your stuff out there. And I could use a million examples. The other day, I was talking to somebody about South Park. South Park became famous because Matt and Trey made a VHS tape about Jesus fighting Santa Claus for the holiday of Christmas or, you know, Jesus's birth. And so that went viral old days before the internet because the VHS tape got passed around. And the question was, who made this? Who made this? And there were like a bunch of people that stepped forward and said, I was the guy that made it. And then they went, great. Could you make some more? Nope. I can't. I can't make more. And then Matt and Trey stepped forward and made another short. And they're like, that's the guys that made it. I can tell immediately that that's who made that. The rest
Right.
is history. And that's every artist you love and enjoy. So that's focusing on that and just saying screw
Yeah.
piracy because it's going to become even harder with AI. When someone can rip your song off and change one element of it and it's no longer copyrighted, you're now leaning more on your influence and creativity to make you money and to gain you those things than anything else. Like you content flagging people or taking their stuff down is not going to benefit you. It's going to harm you in today's economy.
Yeah,
Well,
the best example I could give of that is when I see a short and someone has, you know, where they do the deal where I'm looking at the person that's saying
Oh, you want to
whatever
see?
is being said. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Um, if that inspires me, I always will find the person, their YouTube channel, their website. It's like because I was inspired by that clip and that person. So I'm always seeking out the person that, well, I wonder what the rest of their content sends
And
is
the
like.
audience, the AI will, or the algorithm will continue to send your stuff to people as long as you get views and engagement. That's all they care about, watch time and engagement. So as long as people keep listening to it, and songs are great because people will go back and listen to them over and over again, right? And I think like just leaning into that, you're gonna have more and more success with it. I was gonna show this just because you brought it up, Dad. If you click on engagement, and this is an example of what I was talking about, right? I could be upset and content flag these guys, but I allow them to do this. So if I scroll down here and go to remix, this is on the video that has 5 million views, right? 5 million, and then engagement is like different stats. But you go down here to remixes. 21 people, I'll zoom in. 21 people have remixed this video. those remixes have 141,000 views. And AdSense revenue, 141,000 views is about 300 or 400 bucks. So I'm losing 300 or 400 bucks off these 21 people making videos. Now, what do these videos look like? Let's take a look at this one. This one has 38,000 views. This is my shark video that I made, took time to make and create with artificial intelligence. Here's a dude in a corner. He's just reacting to it. 38,000 views. That right there, what he just did, he said things, you guys didn't hear it. Believe it or not, that is free use and he can make money off of that. I don't make money off of that. That's the way that YouTube and the internet works. So to try to be fighting these things would actively stop the algorithm from giving me more views.
Yeah,
So I let people do this.
I'm not trying to
Yeah,
fight it or anything. I'm using that software mostly just for distribution and getting it out there to
right.
the platforms. Um, I wanted to see like what their little social media thing, the promo things that they had, if they were even worth doing, or if I need to do them my own. You know, maybe either taking like a snippet of the videos that I did make and just make it like a 1 minute short, or
Yeah.
creating a whole new thing with AI with just the song on it.
Well,
Uh,
it's cool too because like my dad said this thing over and over again, and I take this to heart too nowadays. But it's like, okay, you ask, what results have you gotten for other people? Do you know any musicians that they've helped become million plus subscriber YouTube channels that have music being listened to on Spotify and all these networks? And it's like, if they didn't help somebody do that enough, then it's not really worth it. And I would honestly say like most creatives have to do a lot of the work themselves. Like
yeah.
it's really going to be on you on whether or not you're a success at it, not any distribution thing. If anything, that harms people sometimes because you get tied up legally
I
with people.
Yeah,
So
I always tell people that's when Arthur. That's not saying that you're doing this, but my intuition and following intuition is always try to be overrid by my logical. My logical and my analytical part of my who I am as a person fucks me every time. And it's usually when we're looking for shortcuts. We go, oh my God, I could do this. And then the logical mind goes out and goes, all right, go get this. As soon as you use that logical mind to figure out how to get your creativity to the world, there's every marketer in the planet that has been trained to go, well, if someone wants to do this, what are they looking for?
you know what I just thought
And
of,
and
Dad?
then they create that solution, whether you want website hits, views, whatever, and then they create the thing that the person logically is saying, I don't know how to do this, so I need someone to do this for me.
Hmm.
Well, I was gonna say, like, we had the Imagineers for a little while, and there's one person that still follows us, and he's become massive, like bigger than any of us here, and that's Santa Corky, right? If you guys go back in the old Imaginators replays, which you'll get also as part of the membership, like I'm talking years of stuff, right? um, you'll see my dad sitting down with Santa Corky and Santa Corky going, "Oh, but maybe I should do this technical thing over here." And he's like, "Just keep focusing on making content. People will show up and they'll help you." Guys, where is Santa Corky now? He's doing it. And the
Yeah.
people showed up. Like that's
I
what
told him
happened.
to
He just kept
stay in
doing
the
what he was good
pocket,
at, right?
stay in the pocket of making people feel good because that makes you feel good. As soon as we get in the
Yeah.
logical part of our brains, that's when that's when we screw everything up.
Well, I remember that video. It was him wondering whether to push forward with network marketing or do what he wanted to do, which was be Santa. And you told him, do what you want to do and be Santa.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you love creating music that makes you feel awesome, there's not a doubt in my mind there's a large group of people that would feel exactly the same way you would. And the reason
I
that
think that they would.
and not only will they
They would
follow
watch the
you,
video over and
yeah,
over.
not only will they follow you and look for more of your stuff, because what you don't realize you're doing, Arthur, is you're inspiring them because they've always wanted to do what you're doing.
Hmm.
They thought, man, it'd be cool to do this, but this guy's doing it.
Yeah.
Isn't it interesting? It's like the people that are too analytical in their brain saying, I can't because fill in the frickin' blank. You know what I mean? It's like when people create and start throwing their stuff out there, like Matt is getting now with his YouTube channel, probably went over 9 million while we're sitting here. You know, it's like when people see that happen to people, they're always baffled. They're always baffled. So then the only think about when you trust your logic versus your instincts. So then your logic tells you a bunch of bullshit. Here's your logic going, well, Matt's just lucky. Or I bet you they're doing stuff they're not telling us. That's been my story for 38 years. Everyone sees how many millions I've made in this industry, and I'm always not telling you exactly what I'm doing. Because that's the logic. Because when I tell people, say as little as possible to as many people as you can, as fast as you can, the interested people will come to you. This is what they hear. Okay, I'll try it. I won't experiment with it. I'll try it, but I don't like doing it. And see, he lied to me because the people I reached out won't reply. Are they pushing me on something else? Or they just ignore me? See, the shit he told me does not work. It doesn't work for them because they never believed it. They never imagined, oh my God, if I just connect to 2,000 people, then that means, 180 of them are going to get in. And out of the 100 that get in, 8 of them are actually going to do something. And out of the 80, 6 of them are going to make me a millionaire. See, they don't see that. So then they go, oh, I'm going to do what Robert said, but I don't feel like it because I don't like asking people for favors. To be honest with you, I don't like fucking people. But I'm going to try, reach out and see if I can get them to buy something because I need money. And that is not what I'm doing.
Right.
Someone showed me how to change my life in 30 days. And it's got nothing but better since then for 38 years. So when I share with people, if you believe that you'll never have to work for anybody ever again, and you can live a life that only other people dreamed about, and you'll experience a life in every area that's bigger than you can imagine. You just got to introduce this to people. And people, yeah, I'll work for you, but it ain't working for me. And your wish is my command. It's gone that fast. But you guys were all part of the Imaginators in the inner circle when I told you I was going after this plaque. Do you think us, all of us together, because I know people show up on the AMAs, they show up on the podcast, they share the AMAs, they share the podcast. Then Craig uses his magic and puts them into shorts. And I know that you guys shared those shorts. And then we did Inner Circle and then Imaginators. And I know a lot of you keep showing up for that. All of us combined got this plaque. All of us, not just me. Do you think by getting this plaque, do you think that inspired Matt at all? I know Matt was saying behind this, I'm focused like this, but I could create some shorts that would go viral. From the time that me and Mac focused on a YouTube channel, all we've been saying, listen guys, all we have been saying is we're going to hit it and we're going to have a viral video. It's not if, it's when. Blink of an eye and a video's got 6 million views. And everybody's like, shit, I remember when Matt wasn't putting anything on his YouTube channel. Oh, how long ago was that? Like, I think 60 days ago?
Guys, I'm still dropping the ball by not uploading any of this stuff on Instagram, Facebook, X. Like, I don't, some of the stuff that I made on YouTube would probably get like 80 million views on Facebook. It would like kill on Facebook. You know what I mean? Because I see AI content on Facebook and it's like, you could tell that it's AI 1,000,000%. It doesn't look cinematic or anything at all. So it's like, the more realistic you make it look, the more people watch over it over and over again and go, was that AI or was that not? You know what I mean?
Let me see. Let me
So
see. Let me.
it plays
Well,
with your mind.
I know Matt is putting in the work because I get his notifications for all of his videos. I'm like, he puts in like 3 or 4 a day or something. My phone's like
Hmm.
ding, another one, ding.
I put up 3 before I got on here, and one of them already has 2,000 views.
Yeah, so I like
Yeah.
my phone dings, I watch them and I click and I comment on all the ones that I can.
Well,
Appreciate it. I like your videos too.
Arthur, I really appreciate you. Let's get Kevin because I got to
Okay.
be off here at 3.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Arthur. I'm like I said, you guys know me. I live in imagination world. I'm an imaginator. You guys, if you guys, not if, when you guys really truly become imaginators, imagine every person that talks to you that you talk to them about their future. Now, you guys might not realize that I do that because I'm a imaginator, but when I first started connecting with her, I'm going, man. All of a sudden, he started getting mind tricks, doing Jedi mind tricks. And he's like, listen, if I'm doing this, and the next thing you know, he's already pulled down $20,000. And then he became our first trade star. You know, now he's always in there inside of Trade Stars, always helping people. And then the next thing he says, well, I like music. And I'm going like, I can't wait for you to tell me that you got 1 million downloads. Guess what? I got 1 million downloads. I got my certificate and my plaque from whoever does that. And I got 1 million streams. I made $13.52. The only reason I'm saying that is because all the people that are apparently on that streaming platforms that get paid, they talk about how little they get paid for, a billion downloads, and I made $119. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that, Arthur. I'm glad that you're finding another creativity for yourself. You bet. Craig, let's get Kevin done and then we're done.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Arthur, for that. And thank you, everybody. Kevin Carney, there you are. Go ahead, open up, and please share with us. And Matt, also, thank you for all that.
Yeah, Matt.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I just have a somewhat of a quick question, and specifically, I'm going to my nephew's soccer game. He's 20 years old. He plays for the university.
Wow,
I
cool.
was just,
Congratulations to him. That's cool.
I think it's really cool. I got a scholarship for that. My question is, Robert, I want to reach, I can't relate to 20-year-olds, and I'd like to, what do we call it, introduce them to your Trade Stars playlist.
Right.
Specific also to his friends and also his teammates. As you know, a lot of them don't have time.
Yeah, yeah.
And so that's why it's like in terms of the Akashics I think would be a perfect net.
Yeah.
And for him, every time I see him, I can't really relate to him. He's always like watching videos on YouTube or something like that. What would you suggest?
I would suggest exactly his attention span and exactly who he is. Just look at him and say, hey, I'm working with a company that has a bunch of young people in it that are making money from trading. Can I send you some videos so you can see what they're doing? And get this, as soon as he asks questions, make fun of yourself.
Okay.
So he goes, well, what is it? Go, do you think I understand what a bunch of young kids are doing today? Don't you think you should be listening to young people? And he'll go, yeah, you're right. See, what people do that are older is they try to explain things to younger people. And younger people already look at those people as like, you don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay.
So people still don't know that that's part of my magic, Kevin. It always has been part of my magic of, right now, if a person's around 30 years of age, I go, hey, I did this podcast with a guy. You might be interested. His name is Matthew Thayer. This guy just hit millionaire status with our company. And I think you'd really enjoy the podcast. They get on there and they send me a message back and they go, that guy is freaking awesome. They don't say that I'm awesome. They tell me how good Matthew Thayer is. Well, there's other people in our group, like Noah and these guys that are like they're brand new K's and 200K. They're in the 20s. They're not in their 30s.
Hey, Dad, your mic keeps messing up, and I might have the solution.
Okay.
Is it plugged into a USB hub? The
It's not.
Wave X, it's plugged directly into the computer.
Yeah. It's plugged into that. Yeah.
So no adapter into the computer.
Nope.
Okay. Take it, unplug it, and just plug it back in real quick. You guys are watching some troubleshooting right now, but it'll serve us all. So.
Oh, now I lost everything, huh?
Yeah, where'd your video go?
Yeah.
Maybe turn it on. There you go. There you go. Now let's just see if it happens again. And if it does, then I'll give you another one. Unplug the XLR cord and then plug that one back in, but only if we have an issue. All right.
Okay. So you guys can hear me now?
Can hear you perfect.
Yeah.
Could hear you before. It's just hopefully it doesn't
garble.
Do the garble.
Gargle.
Yeah. So did that make sense, Kevin?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Whenever we used to do this in the olden days, but it's sort of a lost thing. But we used to be taught, Kevin, to always collect stories. Because if you collect stories of a bunch of successful people, if you talk to a mechanic and you don't tell them my story, you're a moron. Do you guys catch what I said? So if I'm talking to young people, I'm talking about young people. You guys, I think, isn't Joel Aries? I think he's 25, 26 years old.
20, yeah.
All right. So you go, hey, there's this guy that works with our company that makes over $500,000 trading. And he teaches us exactly what to do. Well, what do you... Let me connect you with some videos of people that he's trained that have made $20,000, $30,000. He's training people to make money. He's got this one guy that hardly pays attention named Arthur, and he's even making money. It's like no, I was just joking. But yeah, that's what you would say to him.
Okay.
Another thing too is still, I love my concept of saying to him, hey, listen, do you know of any people your age that need to make extra money? Why? What is this? Well, I'm with a company and there's a bunch of young people in the company that are just crushing it. But I don't want to explain it to you. I want to send you videos of them, depositing money in their account.
Okay.
And if you go through my playlist, you're going to see those young people in that playlist.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And if he says, well, what do you do? And you go, you listen to these young guys. They get on Zooms live with you. They get on video conferencing live with you, and they show you exactly what to do. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, like what was it 2 days ago? I was overwhelmed. I listened to Arabella, her live session, and it's like I didn't understand a thing that she was talking about.
Yeah, and it's just because when someone's talking trade knees, it takes a while for us to get the words. You know what I mean? And so when I talk to Brett Bedell or I talk to any of the other traders, it's like they just start rattling off a language that I don't know. You know what I mean? So that's why it's fun to have someone. And it's, what the funny thing is? This is when people really don't understand me or what I do for a living. Because there's a group of people out there, when I say that I don't understand trade knees, they think it's their job to learn and teach me. They don't know that I just don't want to know. I'm not interested in never learning trading knees. I'll give you guys one quick story and then we'll close out. I hope that helped you, Kevin.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of you heard in other companies, I've had more than 1 million Latinos in my group. 1 million, over 1 million Latinos. People from Mexico, people from Central America, South America. And one time, in front of a group of about 10,000 people, I said to one of the Latinos that were translating for me, you know, I should learn Spanish. And he looked at me and he says, don't you dare. And I went, why? And he said, you're a gringo from America that doesn't know Spanish. They relate to you more than if you spoke Spanish. And I went, are you serious? And he goes, as soon as you learn Spanish, you're going to lose your credibility. And I said, I never thought of it that way. He goes, yeah, when people hear a person not from this country speaking Spanish, that doesn't make them more like them. What? No. It makes them less like them. I go, why? Because they don't know English. I went, so now you speak 2 languages and they speak 1. Now you're not a guy that makes a lot of money. You're a guy that speaks 2 languages. I went, holy crap. Because Latinos are known for hard work and ethics and family and God-loving people. This simple basics. As soon as I become highly educated, because I can speak more than 1 language, I lose my relatability. How many of you ever heard, well, I should learn their language because they'll respect me more? Isn't that nuts?
Mm-hmm.
And then he said, then can I tell you the selfish reason? I said, yeah, sure. He goes, you know how much credibility I get standing on stage with you, translating for you? And I went, wow. And he goes, and I'm one of your leaders. So I had 9 people, correct, Craig? I had 9 people in my group that were Latinos that made $1 million plus a year.
Yep, 100%.
So, yeah, and it's that's one thing I'd like to do again with Imaginators, is get people in that financial freedom place. So with that, we got a couple of minutes left. Craig, why don't you close us out? I love and appreciate you all. And Matt, Matt's always giving great information. So Craig, I appreciate you.
Love and appreciate you and Matt and everybody who participated today. Sarah, Arthur Waino, Kevin Carney, thank you guys so very much for being here and being part of our AMA, Ask Me Anything with the amazing Robert Hollis. Couple of things as we wrap up. We posted a lot of stuff in the chats. So if you're watching us on YouTube, look at the post description below once we conclude this video. It'll be a few minutes and I'll get those right over there. If you're watching us on Zoom, go ahead and click the 3 dots next to or in the meeting chat next to the title that says Ask Me Anything, and then click on Save Chat. It will download to your computer when we conclude our Ask Me Anything. And yeah, I think that's about, oh yes, and of course, tomorrow, Imaginators, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. It's an exclusive group, and the only way you can become part of that is by going to roberthollis.com/join. So we want to see you there. We appreciate you. We love you all very much. And thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us here on the AMAs with the amazing Robert Hollis and Matt Hollis as well. So until next time, please be good to yourselves. Be cash. Bye-bye. I'm going to go ahead and unmute everybody so we can all say so long. Happy Saturday.
Thank you, Todd. Thank you,
Great
Melody.
weekend.
Happy birthday,
Bye.
Peter, Mary,
Happy
Daniel,
birthday.
Danielle.
Thank you,
Bye, you
everybody.
guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Coach
Have a great
Bob,
rest of your
making my
weekend. See you
Kevin,
present while
tomorrow.
Ray,
eating a
Deborah,
Butterjelly sandwich,
Michael,
so.
Arthur, Tom, Bill,
Bye
Matt,
tomorrow.
Matt,
Tomorrow. Love you
Matt?
guys. Have a great Saturday.